Right everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Cremo with Alfa Romeo, episode number 26 today for the Italian Grand Prix of Season 2. If you missed the previous episode at Belgium, I recommend you going to see that one before seeing this one because, spoiler alert, I actually won that race. But yeah, now we did have R&D failures from that race as well, so we are going to repurchase those immediately and hopefully, fingers crossed, they should come in for Monza, and indeed they do. So, you know, that performance though, we should have been ahead of Williams the last race in Belgium, not this race in Monza. So a little bit of frustration there as well, that we're not able to make the progress that we want to do up the grid and close in on the likes of Alpine. Not Haas though, because they've jumped way up the grid, and Ferrari have also made significant upgrades to jump Aston Martin and McLaren. So we move into qualifying then for the Italian Grand Prix. Monza has always been a good track for me. Of course, it is the home of Italian motorsport along with Imola as well, and of course it is the team's home race. Now we're going to start with the start of qualifying, and we got rammed into the Baku by Yuki Tsunoda. Like, I'm on that left hand slide, I'm going slowly, like it's not like, yes, he's got the Ferrari on his outside, but all he's got to do is leave off. There's yellow flags. I don't think that's my fault personally, but there we go. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Yes, I appreciate I'm going a bit slowly, but remember, of course, you just want to get out the way really of faster cars coming. Tsunoda's not actually on the lap, you know, because you can see he's flashing there. This is a replay on board with Leclerc. I presume Leclerc was on a flat flying lap, but has aborted that one. So yeah, we just got to get on with it. Pace isn't that great as well. Still yet to some of these tracks I'm still yet to find the perfect setup, and Monza is probably one of those. Although I think I've improved it since I went back to the setup after the race. I think I found a much better setup with lower wings, because I ran at 11.11 to start with and dropped it down to 10.11 for the final run on the wings. But I think that I found 9.9 is actually better. But let me know what you use for front wing, for your wing, front and rear wings, in the comments below as well. But yeah, I mean, we're doing a bit tense up on our previous best time. That's not nearly enough what we want to be able to do. I mean, I think we're going to be starting from the back, and I think we're probably going to take a new set of components, because I was thinking about doing, trying to get to the end with just the default components without having to take a penalty. But I think that potentially some of the upgrades, or rather some of the parts, are run a bit faster than others. So yeah, we've improved by 4.5 tenths, but all this is going to do is put us P19 ahead of Logan Sargent, or the American, the TV as I like to call him as well. Gasly is also going to be joining me at the back with his 5 set place penalty as well. That's a separate incident, not involving him. I don't know what happened with him. So yeah, well, we'll see what we can do. For last place on the grid, it's time for the race. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix.
Monza, the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. Today we look forward to the Italian Grand Prix. The Rettifilo, Ascari, Curva Grande, the Parabolica, names to get you excited. This is Monza, where we are full throttle for 80% of the lap. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. Edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Joe, Ocon, Albon, De Vries, Magnussen, Stroll, Gasly, Sargent and Phoenix. which of these talented drivers will come out on top today. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Let's talk about Phoenix. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Okay, this is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix, which means there's a lot of very important people here behind the scenes. I'd love to give them a strong result to watch today, plus a good result might make my post-race meetings a little bit easier.
Thanks, Mark. I mean, we'll try, but we are starting in last place. I think you forgot that. Yeah. Race strategy is an interesting one. Because, as you know, my feelings towards tyre wear. I'm thinking of starting on the mediums because I don't know about tyre wear. 12 laps on a set of soft might be a bit too much. I don't know. A lot of people are starting the soft, so 5 lights then for the Italian Grand Prix, and away we go. It's an okay start. Can we get in front of Sargent before turn 1? Oh, there's a slow moving AlphaTauri. Magnussen. Stroll is also been caught up by that. We're going to have a go down the inside of about 4 or 5 cars there. Can we get Albon? No, Albon's going to try and squeeze it. There's a bit of rubber tyre rubbing going on there, but we have got a warning from the FIA. But we are going to power out now, up to P14. It was a good start as well. Now we're looking at Zhou and Ocon. I think we've got the pace to try and make this a double dive bomb down the inside. The gap was there, and we're going to make the move stick. Fantastic little dive bomb there, up to P12. So this is a good start, exactly the start we need to get on with it and try and get some points, salvage some points from this race. You know, because there's going to be races probably like this for if we ever get to Ferrari, of course, as well. They're going 3 right behind as well, between Albon, De Vries and Esteban Ocon. As well, they're going around the outside. Ocon goes around the outside as well. There's still a bit more contact there as well. Up at the front, Norris did take the lead, has taken the lead at the start from Perez and Leclerc, but they're all swapping positions left, right and centre. This is a track where you need to be in clean air, as Stroll has locked up at his Ascari and has let Ocon through. That's Gasly through, excuse me. We're looking at his teammate Esteban Ocon round the outside of him at Parabolica as well. We hope to get DRS as well, because of course it's time to get the DRS game, although Zhou is there. You know how fast that Haas is in a straight line, because we drove it last season. As well as we were looking behind us now, that's Verstappen having a go at George Russell. Russell starting to fall back after taking pole. Looks like there's Leclerc, it's the one that leads this way. But Russell looks like he's going to hold on, but Russell is starting to fall back here. He gets overtaken by Sainz first and then Verstappen. So Russell falling backwards. The 2 McLarens are looking after it, as there's a whole heap load of train. Just look at this train. Now Hulkenberg's having a go at Russell. So Russell is falling way down the order. As well as Hulkenberg does indeed overtake Russell there. We are now, this squabbling has allowed me to catch up. We're going to have a look down the other side. There was a lock up from someone ahead. We are going to get in front of our teammate Fernando Alonso, who's also medium compound tyres. There was a lock up for Sainz there. He's able to stay in front though of he is able to stay in front of Max Verstappen, as he's also tried to let Lando Norris there. Mercedes not looking quick, as we've managed to have a look at Russell, Tsunoda and Hulkenberg. Can we get the space? Do we have the space we need? We're in the slipstream. Hulkenberg pulls out. Where do we go? Top speed 226 miles an hour, because you can hear that engine change note, which is always annoying. We're going to try and cut in, but there's the back end stepped out. And I think we could have got 3, but all of them had that back end stopped out. But instead, we only get Hulkenberg, which is a little annoying, but we are going to just soldier on. And it is Hulkenberg, so it's another position gained, which is we need, and it puts us up into the points. Alonso follows us through. We're going to have a look now down the inside of George Russell, and the pole sitter is now behind the man who started P20. So yeah, very rare to see that. We're going to leave Hulkenberg behind. We're going to get Tsunoda now with a little bit of a dive bomb there. But remember, just reminding Tsunoda of what he did to us in qualifying, and that's satisfying to get in front of the man who caused us a bit of pain in qualifying. Here's a go at us there as well with DRS as well. But then, you know, they always take the inside and they always have to brake early, which gives them issues. And Tsunoda, Russell and Alonso are going to be 3 wide. Round the outside for our teammate. Can he get it done? No, there's contact with Tsunoda. Tsunoda is in front, and that's going. I don't know if Alonso's got some sort of damage now because he's fallen back behind Hulkenberg. So Alonso's starting to go a bit backwards, unfortunately. Hopefully you can resurface that as well. Up at the front, although Leclerc is sprinting away, Norris is now in front of Sergio Perez. So it is Leclerc from Norris now. As well, all those chasing Leclerc, who's the championship leader, by the way. Big point, big extending his lead at the front. And Russell has a go at us there, nothing doing there. But look at, I can never get the run on the AI out of Ascari. It is just ridiculous how much traction they have out of Ascari. I mean, it's slightly better than it was on last year's game, although it is a mid-speed corner. You know, there's a lot low-speed corners on F122 though, and to some extent on this year's game as well. They are still a bit OP. There's a few people in the pits. We are going to come back and overtake George Russell halfway off the track there, as well as we're watching Nick de Vries, and he slammed into the back of Charles Leclerc. The Tifosi will not be happy with that. He has just absolutely obliterated his front wing there, de Vries. Don't know what he was doing. He got some sort of tank slapper or something. Yeah, don't know what happened there, but he just drove into the back of him. And the safety car's coming out to clear that debris. And we are coming into the pits, and we're going to fit the hard tyres. The soft tyres will not make it. Even on 12 laps of medium tyre running, you know, they're at 41%. If we had, you know, the safety car's going to take a few laps away. A lot of people that also start on mediums are going to hards. I don't think anyone's going to go to softs. It's a little bit annoying. If the safety car come a few laps later, I think then we could have probably chosen the softs. But there we go. As well, so Perez has jumped Leclerc on the safety car, under the safety car, because of course Leclerc pitted before the safety car under green lap running. So Perez is now leading the race, much to the annoyance of the Tifosi. We are stuck behind Carlos Sainz, but I think we're going to try and get in front of him and then try and get him to follow us through as well. He has had a good start, but then of course are we going to have a little sniff of a dive bomb? Yes, we are. Goodness grief, can't even get the car stopped. We've managed to get him down the inside of Piastri and Bottas. Bottas was the target there, you know, to try and get close to him, but I didn't really want to be in front of him at that move. But I mean, we'll take it. I mean, it's another position, but the car just did not want to stop at that point as well. And that's Verstappen getting past Leclerc as well. So Red Bull lead 1-2. And Ferrari not looking that great as well. We've got both McLarens behind us trying to gang up on us. The top three, rather Perez has sprinted away. The top second, third and fourth having a go. Bottas, Piastri is unable to get past us. We are going to have DRS on Valtteri Bottas, and it's just the same game as before, trying to get DRS. Although DRS is not yet been enabled, so we are going to use the slipstream and a bit of DRS. He has the inside. Look, Sainz is in the mix as well. We're going to brake a bit later and keep the position. But now Bottas is going to come on laps 16. We've got a few laps. We've got another 11 laps of this, trying to defend for this P5 as well. But up the road, Verstappen has now lost P2, and look, it's swinging left, right, and centre between Leclerc, Norris, and Verstappen. Looks like Perez has done what Leclerc did in the first stint and break away from the pack. So we've let Sainz through here to fulfil our contract to Ferrari. There's a bit of a gap to Piastri behind. We're just now really battling Bottas. Sainz is in a faster car, by the way. He's also on medium compound tyres. Bottas, I think we can probably battle him more because he's on the same tyres, the hards, and I'm not going to lie, I don't think I particularly enjoy the hard tyres on this car. Yeah, they're not particularly that fun to drive in terms of lap time. Not really gaining time. You know, we're just fighting this squabbling. It's just losing me time left, right, and centre to Sainz out the road. They're just going to fly away. So P6 is what we're fighting for now. Russell's come back against both McLarens. I'm starting to run back out of ERS. So we do need an upgrade there. But now Russell's going to take on both McLarens, and the two Alpines have come to join the fight as well. You know, they started way outside the top 10. For them to get some points would be fantastic. Our teammate is struggling way down in like P15. As well as we're watching Yuki Tsunoda, who hasn't had a great chance. He's down in P17 at the moment. So he's fallen out big time with the pit stops. But it doesn't matter for Yuki because his Mugen branded Mercedes engine has decided he doesn't want to go any further. We are battling Oscar Piastri now, who is what I feared. He would get in front of his teammate, as well as we almost squeeze him onto the bridge, trying to squeeze him as close as to the inside because then he has to brake early. And again, he tried to stick his nose in there down at Ascari, which we're not having any of that. Now we come to a point where both McLarens, we're down the middle. We don't want to be down the middle. Can we try and get past? We've got Bottas. Now we're going to get DRS on Piastri. This is going to have to be the ultimate defence to be able to defend against Piastri and get this P6 back. And we do indeed. But look at Ocon. Where's the Alpines are coming out of nowhere to get both McLarens. We're going to try and break that slightly down the middle. Don't want to be there. Never really want to be there. Gasly is going to, Piastri is going to come back at them. But in the end, actual fact, Gasly has damage, so has to pit. And Ocon loses out to Russell. Although no, he's not, because Russell's going slowly. He is out of the race. So the man who took pole, he's been going slower and slower, and he's now out of the race. We have slight front wing damage as well, which is definitely not helping through the corners. I mean, it's not too bad because it is Monza and we are able to hold on to Piastri, and that's capitulation for Alpine because it's the two Haas cars who end up getting the final couple of points and our teammate Alonso. So you know, Alpine were on for some good points. Piastri got damage, and then after that, you know, Bottas also had to pit as well with damage. So I think Bottas and Piastri collided in that confrontation. We finish up in P6, which I'll definitely take. We were probably looking at, before the safety car, P9. You know, that's probably where we were, but I'll definitely take that. Russell, say DNF, and Gasly and Bottas will be disappointed with not getting points. Ocon also just fell out the points at the end compared to Fernando. So yeah, I mean, we keep P4 ahead of Verstappen despite the fact he finished ahead of us. I mean, I'm not really looking to fight with Verstappen. He's not really our fight. Our fight is more with like the likes of Tsunoda and Russell. So Russell's not had a great run of things recently in his career mode, and it's just trying to keep as many points as possible really and trying to impress Ferrari as well. Alonso scoring points as well, 3 points finishes in a row for him. That's what we like to see. You know, P6 probably a bit lucky, probably P9, P10 is probably where this car is probably at, although it is track sufficient, and we do need to work on getting more upgrades on the car. So that's where I'm going to leave today's episode. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe and new to the channel. See plenty more F123 driver comment videos as they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.